Okay, Judith, what's your thoughts on the game? What's your thoughts on this ending with a draw?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Magnus will be not very happy when he comes out to the press conference. I mean, here we are seeing the two players, and they will say the first words after the game.
Now we'll hear if he's happy or not.
All right, Magnus, what's your reaction to this ending in a draw?
It's disappointing for sure, but you know, I'll try again next time.
Experts were saying at some point you were winning this. Was that your view as well?
For sure. I thought I was winning, but yeah, I couldn't do it in the end.
Is it getting frustrating to get these draws when you're playing so good in the middle game there?
No, it's okay. Just have to keep going.
Thank you, Magnus. And we have Sergey Karjakin. So what's your reaction to this game again ending in a draw?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a very difficult game for me, but my problem was that I made a big mistake in the opening. I played bishop takes h6. I thought it's a great move, and I was calculating some knight e4, rook e4, and what is much better there, I think. But I simply blundered a simple move, queen to c6, and I'm just slightly worse, and it was very unpleasant to play. And then my position was worse and worse and worse, and then of course it was losing, but then he made a very bad move when he played when he played f4, and probably after that it was a draw.
How are you able to keep your head cold and to save a draw when, as you're saying, this is getting worse and worse, and you're in your very first World Championship?
Okay, but I have to keep fighting. There is no way back because I'm here to fight in every game, so it's my job.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Judith, it is Karjakin's job to keep fighting, he says.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's not only his job, I mean, it's his passion. That's why he's here. He's having the most important days of his life, of his career, and of course he's very emotional and very focused, very dedicated. And I'm sure from one point of view he's frustrated also that in game 3 and 4 he had a really bad position and allowed the opponent Magnus to have such great positions, and he was suffering for a long time in both games. On the other hand, probably he feels also very proud that, wow, against the world champion in two games, such a difficult games, he could save it. So in one hand he's very disappointed, in the other hand he's very positive and can be very optimistic, because also for Magnus, of course, it will be very difficult to think that it's not enough to get an incredible good position. In the very last minutes, the last moves, I still have to switch the gear even higher, and this will be the big question, how will he be able to do that?
And Magnus Carlsen, obviously, naturally, and as expected, was disappointed.
Yes, I mean, it's very clear. I think he's more or less at least as disappointed as he was last day, because I had the feeling after the press conference that in game 3 he was not so optimistic in his end game, but I think here he was maybe much more optimistic, not only in the end game, but already starting from the middle game, around move 23-24, as Karjakin pointed out that he blundered queen c6. But now,
how will this affect the players mentally before game 5?
This will be very interesting, how they will handle this mental stress and how they will go on. But I think both players will have a 3-day rest, and they will, with full gear, they will really go for the game 5.
And then Magnus obviously will have white pieces. How do you think he will attack that?
I don't think he will change his strategy. I mean, it pretty much worked very well. I mean, the mistakes he did, it was already in the 6th and the 7th hour that he misplayed the great chances or winning opportunity. And I think he will be very much looking forward for Game 5 to really prove it that, I mean, it will be also, again, that he can create some opportunity for himself and also go all the way and win a game.
But after 13 hours of chess in 2 days, do you think he as well looks forward to a rest day?
Probably he will not complain too much about the free day tomorrow.
And then we'll set to the press conference after Game 4.
So we are ready to start. Dear chess fans here and dear chess fans who are watching us all around the world, welcome to the press conference. The fourth game of the World Championship match finished in a draw. So we are ready to check the game. And Sergey, first of all, my question for you, how actually it happened that you get to such a trouble today?
Yeah, I mean, it was a question of one move because I played bishop takes h6 here, and I thought it was brilliant.
No, you just leave it. And
yeah, and I was considering knight e4, rook e4, and now. Now he cannot play f5 because of rook takes c4, and he has to take, and here I have a very good compensation, and I mean I felt brilliant at this moment, but after he played queen c6, I realized what am I done. So I had to start to defend, and it was of course very unpleasant. But then later on, maybe I should not have played h4, but still I believe it's very bad for white. And here of course it's very close to be winning for black. I was expecting bishop e6, and I don't know. I don't believe white can save this position. And after he played f4, it was probably a four test.
Yeah, okay, Sergey, coming back to this position when you played actually bishop takes c4, did you consider the move bishop c1 still? I mean, not to give up this bishop on c4, because everybody was kind of unhappy that you gave this slight square bishop.
Yes, but I was also unhappy with this position. I mean, maybe it could have been better than in the game, but
knight g3,
but I was very upset already after queen c6. Okay, maybe I can equalize here. I don't know. Probably, but he can try to go to. Okay, I mean it's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe it was better.
Yeah. So the question is to Magnus. I mean, of course, you got a better endgame, and what was the moment actually you lost your track in this endgame?
Well, in general, I'm not a big believer in fortresses in chess. I mean, there are some people like Anand, for instance, who tries to build a fortress every time he's worse. But I mean, somehow I have experience breaking these fortresses down, and in this case, I just thought that I was easily winning with f4. I mean, the thing was, the move before when I played bishop b6, I was trying just to set up f4 next, just not to let him regroup. And I thought that as long as I have a path on the queen side, it has to be winning. I didn't even think about whether it's still a fortress when I get the king to b3. So, I mean, that was very, very sloppy. And it spoiled, it spoiled the game where I was better most of the time. I mean, kudos to him for finding this, but really I think that was just a very, very weak moment. And I mean, I also agree that well, I mean, I spent a lot of time calculating early in the game, but then after I got Queen C6, 94, I thought I was okay, but I spent lots of time looking at positions like after Bishop C1, Knight E4, and Knight G4, for instance, Rook E6, and in general I thought Black was doing okay, but I didn't have any thoughts that I should be massively better or anything. And then, yeah, okay, after Bishop C4, I'm just handed a big advantage on the platter, but still his position is solid, and I started to realize that afterwards. But again, I mean, I felt that I was making progress after we exchanged the rooks. I felt I had to be winning, but yeah, I guess I always underestimated the chances that he could set up a fortress.
Yeah, Sergey, you made this move H4, which was one of the critical moves, I think, in this game. Is it better for white or for black to actually change these pawns, H4 and D6?
Yeah, I think it's better for black. I mean, somehow first I was considering to play like this, yeah, but it should be winning. I thought I played G3, King F2, but he will slowly win this. Yeah, and then I played Bishop E7. I mean,
then, okay, D5, you go Bishop F8, no?
It's
And
also
then
D5.
yeah. You should not play D5. I mean, you played correctly. Yeah. And here actually my first idea was.
Okay, if you get the knight to D4, it might be okay, but Bishop G5.
Well, yeah, that was the problem. Bishop G5 and King F2, Bishop D2, and next F4.
Yeah, then it's completely lost.
Yeah.
No, it was also, yeah, I mean, I thought, okay, if you get the knight to D4, you have good chances with but yeah, I didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Yeah, Magnus, you also spent like more than 20 minutes thinking about G4, after G4. Can you show maybe some other lines you were thinking at this moment after white played G4?
Well, I mean, what I really was thinking about was whether if I go F4 immediately, he can try to get some setup with knight H3 and something like that, just to not to get what we had in the game. So again, you have to see that it didn't even occur to me that it's a fortress. I thought I have a path. The king is infiltrating on the white squares on the queen side, and that's it. That's what I thought. So I mean, I was looking at other ways. I knew that it should be very close to winning if we just exchange these pawns, and you know, gradually I can get in with the king, perhaps even change bishops. But again, yeah, I just thought as long as I can play F4, then it will take a very long time to win, but it's a sure win. But that was obviously wrong.
Yeah, okay, thank you for your explanation. So do we have questions for players? Okay.
Magnus, what is your feeling after two possible victories slipping between your fingers?
Sorry?
What's your feeling after two possible victories slipping between your fingers?
Well, it's not great. So, but I mean, the match is tied. That's not a disaster, and I have to do better next time. That's all I can say. But I think it's always better to be on the attacking side. But yeah, I'll have to convert it next time. But he's he's hanging on, but still, yeah, I should do better.
Okay. And okay, I can ask also Sergey about his feeling after these longest so far games in the match.
Fantastic. No, but, I mean, of course, it was two very difficult games. Now maybe I will need some doping to continue.
Okay.
This question is from Magnus. I believe in Chennai you opened your first 4 games with draws, but have the last 48 hours been as frustrating as you've had at a World Championship?
I mean, you can look at it that way, or you can go on to the next. So I'll choose to go on to the next. I mean, frankly speaking, in Chennai, I was also very close to winning the 4th game. That was, I mean, perhaps the most interesting game of the match, and in which Rishi also defended well. So, I mean, it's not all bad, and I think, I mean, on to the next. I'll try again.
Yeah. Okay, please.
Okay, Sergey, you've been sitting there defending and getting pressured for 13 hours in 2 days. Could you describe how that's like?
Yeah, I mean, as I said already, that it was 2 very difficult games. Now I have to recover, and okay, well, I mean, when you get to the bad position, you have to keep playing. I mean, I don't want to resign, and I just play, and I try to do my best. But of course, it's unpleasant.
Yeah, by the way, actually, how difficult it is to not to think about the previous mistakes. I mean, do you just try not to think about it and play your moves?
Yeah, of course it's difficult. Of course, I mean, when you have completely normal position here, and you're clearly worse after 3 moves. So I mean, of course, it's impossible to not to think about it. But better not to.
Okay. Other question? Here. Andrew?
Question for Magnus. You put Sergey under a lot of pressure yesterday and did it today as well. How would you describe his ability to defend himself?
Well, he's good. But again, I cannot be too disappointed with the game, with the way it's going. I just have to, on to the next, and it's. I really believe that it's better to be attacking than defending, and. I mean, that's it. Just have to keep going and not to think too much about this.
Please.
Magnus, you said that you were sloppy in this game. Can you explain why you were shot?
Well, I mean, from a position that's more or less technically winning to allow a fortress is. I mean, it's possible, but it's not very good. Not at standard which I try to hold myself to. But again, kudos to him for finding resources to keep making it difficult for me.
What do you do to recover after 2 such long games now to prepare for the next game?
Well, there's a lot of time, isn't there? I mean, we have an extra day, and I don't know. You have your routines, and yeah, that's it.
By the way, you said before the previous free day that you would like to play another game immediately after. So what about this free day? Are you happy that you have it?
Yeah, why not? Chess isn't easy, you know. It's hard work, and I mean, I would gladly sit down and play 6 hours tomorrow. So that.
Okay, one more question.
Don't worry.
Sergey, what can you say about your free day tomorrow? I mean, what are you going to do?
Oh, well, probably I will go to the Central Park.
And play some chess?
No.
Perhaps. Okay.
Sergey, somebody tweeted at the end of the game that Putin has appointed you as Minister of Defense. What is your comment to that?
Who said this, Mr. Defense? Can you say loudly?
I will repeat. The tweet was that Vladimir Putin has appointed Sergey Karjakin as Minister of Defense. Please, your comment.
I would be happy.
Okay. So thank you so much for attending this press conference. Thank you for the players.